Por versus para. The difference. Por talks about reason and para talks about purpose. When should we use por or para? Let's get into it. Here are two mnemonics used to remember the use of por and para. Clofit GM is used with por and perfect is used with para. Now let's get into what each letter in the mnemonics represent. Caused and reason. The C in Clofit GM represents cause and reason. For example, el hombre murió por falta de agua. The man died for lack of water. P in perfect represents purpose when used for para. For example, es un vaso para agua. It's a glass for water. The L represents the length of time. For example, yo estudié por 2 horas. I studied for 2 hours. While E in perfect represents effect. Estudio para aprender. I study in order to learn. O represents on behalf of, in favor of. For example, yo trabajé por Juan, no voté por nadie. I worked for John, I didn't vote for anyone. The R represents recipient. El regalo es para ella. The gift is for her. F represents frequency. Voy al cine 2 veces por semana. I go to the cinema 2 times per week. While F represents future and point in time. La tarea es para mañana. The homework is for tomorrow. I represents in exchange for. Ella pagó $5 por el libro. She paid $5 for the book. E represents employment. Trabajo para Microsoft. I work for Microsoft. T represents through, along, or by. Voy por el parque. I go by the park or I go through the park. C. Comparison. Para un niño es muy alto. For a boy, he's very tall. G. For gratitude. Gracias por la manzana. Thank you for the apple. T. Towards. Voy para el parque. I am going towards the park. M means of doing something. Voy al cine por bus. I am going to the cinema by bus. Me llamo por teléfono. He called me by telephone. Did you know? Por means by, for, through, along, per, for the sake of, while para means for and in order to. So we may use por for the following reason. When stating reason for something, talking about traveling and discussing the means of travel, for the duration of time, and when something is being done by someone. Para is used for the following reason: to tell or state purpose. For example, in order to learn, in order to write, in order to speak. The next is final destination. For example, I'm leaving for Madrid. I need the work for tomorrow. Deadlines, for example, for tomorrow, for January 10, etc. This gift is for Maria. We use para to tell when an item is for someone. Quiz. Prueba. Por o para. Insert the correct word into each sentence. Number 1. Ella habla blank teléfono. 2. Usted andaba blank la calle. 3. Estudiar es bueno blank ti. 4. Yo salí blank Venezuela. 5. Pregunte blank el director. Las contestas. Here are the answers. Number 1. Did you select por, in this case, which means by, as in by phone? Reason for using it, the means of doing something. And number 2. Did you select por? In this case, it meant along. For example, along the road. Number 3. Did you select para? For suitability. Good for increasing your knowledge. Number 4. Did you select para? For destination. And finally, number 5. Did you select por? Used for asking for someone. Give yourself a round of applause if you're able to get all 5 right. Excelente! Repaso. Let's review. Por versus para. Por helps us to state by who. For example, the project was done by John. Para helps us to state for who. The project was done for the teacher. Por, around or through. For example, along the road, while para states to destination for 6th Street. For example, por expresses duration of time for 5 hours, while para expresses deadline in 5 hours or by 5 hours I need the work. Por expresses exchange for $5, while para expresses for what? For his mother. Por, no comparisons here, while para expresses opinion. For me, it is a great experience. That is my opinion. Por frequency of time for 2 hours or 2 times per week. There is no comparison here with frequency for para.